Hey guys, Jimmy here again to bring you guys another MMA fight prediction video. This time I'm covering the UFC 171 main event that features a light heavyweight championship bout when the longest reigning UFC light heavyweight champion Johnny Bones Jones puts his title on the line against Brazilian bomber and #1 contender Glover Teixeira in what should be a very competitive, explosive matchup. I will give you guys the backstory to this fight, which will, recap what's going on with Jones, his past couple outings, as well as Glover's road to this title shot. Plus, a full fight breakdown of the two fighters and who have ultimately winning and walking out with that UFC light heavyweight championship gold. Without further ado, let's get this thing started right about now. Johnny Bones Jones, Glover Teixeira. Now, 2013 has been a very successful yet tough and hard-fought year for the champ, because in April, after filming a season of The Ultimate Fighter with his rival Chael Sonnen, he defended his belt at UFC 159, completely humiliated Chael Sonnen by out Chael Sonning him, taking him down, ground and pound, bloodied him up, use of the body, TKO. But at the same time, he messed up his toe in the process, and he had to be out of action for a little bit. But he was matched up with the most logical contender at the time, which was Alexander Gustafsson. I mean, of course, people said Machida, but Machida just wasn't a big pay-per-view draw, to really make a lot of money and get people interested in. Plus, the guy annihilated him anyway, so what's the point of doing that over again anyways, And he just had a boring fight with Dan Anderson a couple months ago, so it was ridiculous to even match him up with Machida at this stage, at this point. And Gustafsson was a likely, popular choice. He was just as young, he's the same age as John. He's tall, he's got, he's big, and he matched up physically with the champ, aside from the reach. But when they finally met up at UFC 165, it was very shocking what happened, because I thought it was going to be a clean sweep for Jon Jones, just another title defense, he's going to rape this guy, this, that, and the other thing, but it wasn't like that. Gus brought the fight to him. I mean, he cut him up. He was out striking him. He took him down. The first guy to take Jon Jones down inside the octagon. Because all the other guys that tried to take him down had failed. Gus was able to do it. And he was able to stuff his takedowns, land big shots on him. But at the same time, Jon didn't go down. He stayed in there. He fought. And, he almost finished him, I think, in the fourth. And, he really put him on him on the fifth. And when the scorecards were read, I mean, although, the fans and a lot of the fighters had Gus as the winner, in reality, the judges, I think they made the right choice. They gave it to Jon by unanimous decision. I mean, and a lot of people panned that, and they gave Gustafsson the whole fight. I mean, I gave Gus 1 and 2. I mean, 3 was a toss-up, but I could slightly give it to Jon, and Jon stole the fourth, but, almost finishing him in the fourth round, and with the elbows and the knees, he had in trouble. He cut him up, and of course, there's no doubt he took the fifth. So it is what it is. I mean, there was talks of immediate rematches, but that didn't happen, and now Jon faces the Brazilian bomber Glover Teixeira at UFC 171. And should Jon prevail over Glover and Alexander Gustafsson prevail over Jimmy Manuaha, then those two will likely lock horns, I want to say maybe fall of 2014 or maybe late summer. But anyways, it's going to happen if they both win. Moving on, Glover Teixeira is a beast. The guy is the one person that almost all the other guys at light heavyweight did not want to fight at all. I mean, the guy, even though he wasn't competing in the UFC, you know, for the vast majority of his career, he was elite and he was a monster. I mean, he's on a 20-fight winning streak. He hasn't lost since 2005. He's 5-0 in the UFC. He's obliterated all of his opponents. That include Kyle's Kingsbury by arm triangle choke, Fabio Maldonado TKO. Rampage decision. Outworked him and showed him just how limited he is in his approach to fighting. And he also submitted James Te Huna, guillotine choke. And he most recently knocked out Ryan Bader. And the guy is a real threat to Jon Jones' title. And it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. At UFC 171, the big question is, can Glover Teixeira shock the world and knock out Jon Jones and take his belt? Or can the champ destroy Glover, retain his championship, and move on to face Gus in the rematch? Well, the answer to that question will be coming up next. Now, when breaking down these two guys on a little tape of the tape, now it's obvious that Jon Jones has the reach advantage over Glover Teixeira. He's got 84-inch reach to Glover's 76-inch reach. He's taller than Glover Teixeira at 6'4", and Glover's 6'2". He has more experience in the championship fights when going 5 rounds than Glover does, because Glover's only fought 3-round fights. Jon has gone 5 rounds in 5-round fights with Alexander Gustafsson or Sean Evans, because he did go about 4 rounds with Vitor Belfort and Rampage Jackson before submitting those guys. But nevertheless, both these guys come in great condition, so hopefully it won't be an issue for Glover, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, when it comes down to their striking, Glover has heavy hands, good boxing, and he does mix it up with the kicks. You know, he's not a one-dimensional Rampage Jackson. You know, but he is, you know, susceptible to getting wobbled and stuff. But at the same time, he's got great awareness, and if you give him an opening, he will hurt you and he will put you away. Just ask Ryan Bader. Now, Jon Jones, I think, has the better comprehensive striking, though, because he's more accurate on the head kicks than Glover. He's more unorthodox with his attack, because he likes to throw jabs. Well, he likes to use his elbows like jabs. And he's got a pretty good left hand. And his trademark moves, obviously, are his flying knee, his spinning elbow. And, you know, it's just, you know, a lot of leg kicks, high kicks. I mean, he's a kick specialist. And he's got nasty ground and pound. So if you're ever on the ground with him, he's cutting you up, get out of there. Or else you'll be a crimson mess, or he'll finish you by TKO. Now, when it comes down to their wrestling, Jon Jones is one hell of a wrestler. The guy was a junior college champ, and he takes down the vast majority of his opponents, aside from Sean Evans. I mean, Alexander made it hard for him, but he eventually got him down. And he's really hard to take down himself. But albeit the Gus did take him down that first round, the Gus had problems taking him down in the rest of the fight. And almost all the guys who fought, I mean, actually, hell, all the guys who fought Jon Jones in his career have had a hard time taking him down, because he just doesn't go down unless he wants to, unless he pulls guard and goes down. That's the only way you're going to get the guy down for the most part. Now, Glover Teixeira he's no slouch wrestling-wise. He's a very good wrestler. He took down Quinn. He took down Te Huna. He took down Maldonado. So I mean, he's good there. You know, he's got good defensive wrestling too. As far as submissions are concerned, Glover's a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu. He has about 6 submission victories to his credit. Yeah, he submitted Kyle Kingsbury, James Te Huna, by triangle choke and guillotine choke respectively. And yeah, the guy's really good on the ground, and if Jon Jones leaves anything for him, he will finish him there too, because if you think about it, Vitor Belfort almost finished Jon Jones for that armbar if he would have just torqued it more and broke it. And Glover's a overgrown, bigger, you know, Vitor Belfort just without the speed though. Now, Jon, on the other hand, is no slouch submissions either. He submitted a lot of guys like Quinn Rampage Jackson, Ryan Bader, Vitor Belfort, and Jake O'Brien with guillotine chokes, Americana, and rear naked choke respectively. As far as their game plans are concerned in this fight, Jon Jones is obviously looking to strike Glover from a distance. A lot of leg kicks, elbows, knees, head kicks as well. Just really mix it up on the guy. Take him down, round and pound, transition, get a submission, guillotine choke, Americana, whatever he can get his hands on, you know. I mean, it's not going to be that easy to submit Glover or pass his guard, because the guy is a very good jiu-jitsu practitioner, and he's going to be threatening Jon with submission attempts for the most part. But you know, Jon has to defend submission attempts, get in a superior position, outwork the guy, punish him, and try to put him away with either submission or ground and pound by slicing and dicing him on the ground. Now for Glover Teixeira, he's got to close the distance, defend Jon's takedowns, try to take him down, and try to go over submission himself. If he gets down with Jon Jones, work his way back up and really put the heat and the pressure on him and try to knock the guy out. I mean, literally, that's what Glover wants to do. But if Glover has the opportunity, he will submit Jon Jones if it's there. I mean, he likes to be on top when he tries to submit you, you know, or he could, you know, pull guard and, you know, get you with the guillotine choke like he did James Te Huna. But regardless, though, I mean, it's gonna be a fun fight. But if, you know, as far as odds are concerned, I give Jon Jones 60% chance of victory. I give Glover 40% chance of victory. And my official prediction for this fight will obviously be Jon Jones, just because the guy, you know, is just on another level. I mean, you know, yes, he had a dog fight with Alexander Gustafsson, and you know, this, that, and the other thing. But you know, I don't think Jon was on the top of this game. Not taking anything away from Alex, but he wasn't at his best, and he will be for the Glover fight, obviously. And Glover Teixeira is not Alexander Gustafsson. Yes, he has the power, but he doesn't have the length that Gustafsson had to really close the distance with Jon. And he doesn't quite have the kind of speed either. So I don't see this being too much of an issue for Jon Jones. Although I think it's going to be a competitive fight, I don't see it, you know, being, you know, a dog fight though. Because eventually he's going to wear Glover out or put him away and go on to face Gustafsson again, or Glover Teixeira will work his way back up to the division. Maybe a fight against Phil Davis, Sean Evans, obviously. And that ends today's fight prediction. I'll see you guys for the next one.